Welcome to the Wednesday evening live tutorial stream here at the twitch.tv/Beading Dream channel. Okay, what's up with it, camera? Like, I mean, I like soft focus and all, but like, what the heck? There we go. I mean, I actually don't look terrible today, so today is a good day for regular focus. But hi Keiko, hi Lori, hi everybody who is out there. Welcome to Vintage. Huh?
It flipped you.
It flipped me? What do you mean?
Nothing. Never mind. Hey, it's Shalera Swinfang.
Hi, Shalera Swinfang. Welcome. Welcome in. So, okay, today is vintage style knotting, and so were I? What? What the?
Yeah, the image is reversed.
Okay, weird. Because isn't this usually on this side of me?
No, not in the picture. I mean, the picture usually looks like normal life. Like if I were looking at you, the picture looks...
But this is normal life if you were looking at me. I have no idea. I don't know what it did. Doesn't matter. It's not hurting anybody, so don't stress about it. Good job, Keiko. Anyway. What was I saying? Right. Welcome to Vintage Style Knotting. So, this is a tutorial that is based on the large number of vintage... That's so weird that the words on the book are backwards, but it's still on the correct side of me. I don't even know. Hi, Susan Wilk! Anyway. So. Okay, I'm ignoring. I'm trying to ignore it. Trying. See if I can. But anyway. So. Oh no, no, no.
As long as we can still hear her.
Yeah. So, anyway, this is inspired by, there was a period of time where we got a number of necklaces of this particular style into repair, and almost every client was taken aback by the price of the repair. Some of them we wound up doing, some of them we wound up not doing. But first of all, I like it. I think it's a very pretty technique, but I also wanted to do a tutorial just to kind of, you know, show to the world how much effort this actually is. So this is going to be, it's a 3-strand project that's knotted. So it's 3 strands of beads. And so there's going to be a section of beads, and then a knot, and a section of beads, and then a knot, and a section of beads, and then a knot. So, like I was saying, had I had the time to plan ahead today, which was not happening, I would have pre-strung my beads. But I didn't, and that's actually good, because that way I can show you how to start it. And then I'm going to string some beads as quickly as I can, and I'm also going to tell you a funny what happened was story about what was supposed to be my lunch today, and turned out not to be my lunch today because of reasons. So I think the last time I did this tutorial, because it did not involve a margarita, did involve a nap though. So the last time I did this tutorial, I think I did it on Griffin. Hi, Julie. I think I did it on Griffin thread. That's probably what it says on the supply list online. But I'm going to do it tonight using spool thread just to kind of give you guys a different perspective on that. And I'm not going to do a whole necklace. And this is the other thing about this style of knotting in the vintage necklaces is they're usually long. They're usually about 36 inches long. So you multiply that 36 inches by the stringing and the knotting rate times 3 strands, and then you get a customer with sticker shock. But once again, I wanted to put this tutorial out in the world to show you how much effort this actually takes, because it's a solid amount of effort. So I'm just going to make a small sample, probably not even a bracelet length, But I'm going to cut myself enough cord to do a bracelet length just in case. So when you're using spool cord, you're going to use it doubled through a needle. So that means two things. Number one, you're going to need twice the amount of cord you think you do. And number two, you're going to need cord that's half the size you would normally use. So I'm going to be using a size 0, and strangely 0 plus 0 equals about a 2 or a 3 in Griffin silk. I realize that's loony math, but just trust me, it's true. And I'm going to use about 6 feet. That's 6 feet-ish, because I'm about 5 feet tall. So I'm going to use 6 feet of that times 3 strands. And this is only going to get crazier, folks, because we're about to have 3 strands and 3 needles. Right? It's totally artisan math. 0 plus 0 equals 3. I mean, I'm down for it. Especially since it's actually a fact. Mainly because the systems are completely different. So it's more like translating from one language to another than actual math, since math is more of a universal language. Okay, so now I'm going to take each of my 6-foot strands, and again, I'm just doing a short piece tonight, okay? So that's why I'm only using 6 feet. But going back up to Keiko's comment about having 400 inches of string, don't forget, for any knotting project, you need about 3 times your finished length. If you're using spool cord that you're going to double, that means you need 6 times your finished length for every strand. So if you're making a 36-inch necklace in this technique or any other knotted technique that's got 3 strands of beads on it, that means you need 3 strands of cord, each of which is 18 feet long. Okay, so that's the correct math, right, Heather? I think it is.
I think so. I wasn't actually 100% listening. I'm sorry.
That's okay. 36 inches times 6 should be 18 feet.
Yes.
Okay. Yay, I did a math thing right. Woo! Okay, for real, Shalaris, okay, so I'm going to take each of these strands and I'm going to take my needle. So these are twisted wire needles. I'm using the medium size with a collapsible eye. So I'm going to thread each cord into 1 needle. So 3 cords, 3 needles. There was a time when I was young and dumb and had a lot of time on my hands because I was young and I didn't have a job. All I had was school and dance, and I didn't really have friends, so that wasn't an issue. But yes, I got a book on tying Chinese style knots, and I was like, I'm gonna learn how to do this. And I think the first time when it just turned into like this brain crumble of just weirdness, I was like, nope, we're not gonna do that anymore. We're gonna go string some beads instead. But yes, and it's like, why do you require 7 feet of cord? And then you tighten the knot and you've got like 5 feet of extra cord. Like, I feel your pain so hard. I do. I love knots, but man, the complicated ones are just, it's like higher mathematics. Alright, and I am just for grinsies tying a knot in the end of each of these so it doesn't fall off the needle. This is unnecessary what I'm doing right now, tying this knot in the end. You don't have to do it because we're going to tie them all together in a knot. But like I said, I don't want it to fall off the needle. Also, I got one of these pieces of cord much shorter than the other. The other two, it's okay. I'm just making a wee small piece, so it doesn't really matter. I'll have enough cord no matter what. Okay, so now I have, because I can basically stop whenever I want to. So when I run out of cord, I get to stop, because this is a practice project and for demonstration purposes only. This is not how it works in the real world. But seriously, one of these is half the length. Okay, I'm sorry, that's just going to drive me crazy. So apparently I can't do that. In the real world, of course, one does not get to do that. Again, just ask Heather. Or don't, because she might have some kind of a trauma response.
I still love green sapphires.
That's because green sapphires are awesome.
They really are.
I'm wearing some today.
So Carol and I did some math yesterday while you're doing that.
Oh!
I can tell a story. So Carol had a strand of 16 inches of little opals. And the customer wanted a necklace that was exactly 18 inches long. And it was a graduated strand, so we couldn't just stop any time, of course. And so we talked it out to decide what would be the best way to figure it out. And I said, if it were my project, I would probably knot an inch of the opals and see what that got me and do the math from there. And so she knotted an inch of opals. And does anyone have a guess? I mean, these are teeny tiny opals, so there are a lot of knots. Does anyone have a guess at how many inches she got out of 1 inch of opals?
So 3 needles, 3 strands of cord. Just hold that thought header. So now I'm going to take all of the ends and I'm going to take all of them together. So this is now 8 pieces of cord. I'm going to tie them in an overhand knot. See, I'm really just giving people time to cogitate on the math problem.
Yes.
So I'm going to tie them in a knot. It's going to be a pretty fat knot, as you can see right there, for that 1 second that it focused on. And then I'm going to take a bead tip, okay? Who remembers what a bead tip is from some of our other knotting tutorials? I bet that some of you do. So that's a bead tip. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to string all 3 of my strands, all 3 of my needles, and they're going to go down from the hook side to the cup, and there's a hole in that little cup. So I'm going to put my needles in there and then pull them all through. So you can try and do it all at once, which is what I'm going to try to do, or you can do it one at a time. Okay, so see, all 3 of those are going into my bead tip, and then I'm just going to yank all of my threads through until my bead tip runs right up against my knot. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate each of my 3 needles, and since I'm just doing a small demonstration piece onto each needle, I'm just going to string about 6 inches of beads. So now Heather may continue with her story. We had, we had 1.01 inches from Susan. Julie, it looks like, has a guess because she raised her hand. What's your guess, Julie? And I also have a guess. I want to guess too because I wasn't here.
Because you don't know the answer.
I don't know the answer.
You should be able to guess, yes.
Let's see. So I'm going to guess 1 inch of opals turned into 1.75 inches of knotted. That's my guess.
Okay.
Julie, do you have a guess before Heather spoils it for everyone?
So far, no one has gotten the exact answer.
Oh, got it. Okay, that works too. Okay, so what's the answer, Heather?
1 3/8 inches.
Okay, so I was overestimating.
You were overestimating, but it is shocking how much knotting adds, especially if you have tiny beads. So,
yes. And, by the way, I don't know if you heard, but the math worked out pretty perfectly because she wound up with 17 inches of knotted opals, and so plus the clasp was exactly 18.
Perfect. Yeah, because the math that we did would have ended up with 16 inches of opals turning into 22 inches of knotted opals, which is
too many.
Too many.
Too many inches. Sorry, my shirt is trying to flash you all. Okay, so now I have a story, and you're not missing anything when I'm telling stories, because literally all I'm doing is on each of these strings, I am going to string about 4 inches of my beads, and I just have some 4mm jasper. So you're not missing anything here. I'm just putting beads on string. If you want to see my hands while I do it, I can show you, but it's really not that exciting. Like literally just putting the beads on the string and letting them fall down. That's all. The key here is to, make sure that you don't get a big old tangled mess, which I kind of already have. So I like to, there we go. So what I like to do is take the two that I'm not using, and kind of put them to the side. And then, of course, this is the fun of knotting, is then you get, your tweezers and anything else that's at your station caught in them. But I like to take the two that I'm not using and kind of put them to the side so that I only have one in front of me at a time. Okay, so yesterday. Okay, well, yesterday was my mother's 70th birthday, and so I spent the day with her after she guilted me. And her furniture is finally back in her condo. Thank goodness. That ordeal is finally over, and so now everything, of course, needs to be unpacked. And so my birthday present to her, in addition to the strand of tourmalines that I bought her, was to spend the day with her and help her unpack her condo. So I got home, and I was very physically tired, but I was mentally actually kind of still okay. So I decided that I was gonna do some meal prepping for the week, because the rest of the week that I have going, starting today, is pretty intense. And so I'm like, hey, wouldn't it be nice to have just some meals that are prepackaged that I can grab out of the fridge and I can actually eat, and eat things that I want to eat, and, pretend to be a grown-up and all of that. And I also did some meal prepping for Heather, which I hope was okay.
Awesome.
Because she was kind enough to buy me some groceries, so I made her some pastas. And did you try the garlic bread?
It was so good.
Okay, so it wasn't too badly carbonized?
No.
Unlike the thing I'm about to talk about. So...
Correct.
Yeah. So I made her pasta and red sauce. I zhuzhed up the red sauce a bit. And roasted Brussels sprouts. And then I had some King's Hawaiian rolls that I had delusions that I was going to make sliders at some point with them. And I finally decided that was stupid and not happening, so I should do something with them before they started to grow science experiments. So I made garlic bread, which I over toasted a bit, but apparently it was still edible.
It was great.
And so then, after I'd done all of that, I decided I was going to meal prep for myself. And I'm trying to eat out of my freezer because money is a little tight right now. And
so is your freezer, actually.
Yeah, and my freezer is also very full. Like, I like unto my father, I believe in a full pantry and a full freezer, which serves me well in times of when I don't have a whole lot of money.
Yes.
So I had some salmon in my freezer. Okay, so that's one strand. So I'm going to string about this many beads onto the other 2 strands. So I'm going to put this one aside, kind of drape it over something, and then separate one of the other needles and string on there. So I decided I was going to do salmon and rice, because salmon and rice is when it... Tally-Fet, stop calling.
No, I like it when Tally-Fet calls.
So salmon and rice, anyway, was and I've got a great glaze for salmon that's brown sugar and hot mustard and soy sauce, and so that sounded really good to me for the week. So I put my rice in the rice cooker, and I dunked my salmon in the glaze. My salmon I pulled straight from the freezer, so it was frozen. Tell me when you're sick of this story. I promise it has a funny ending. And so I put it in the oven to bake, and if it had been thawed salmon, I would have only baked it for like 15 minutes, but since it was frozen, I put it in for 35. And I was like, I'm a little sleepy. I worked a lot today. I'm a little tired. I think I'm going to take a little nap on the couch while the salmon's cooking. Does anyone have a guess where this story is going?
Oh, I bet they have lots of guesses.
And, okay, and by the way, this was about 8:30, 8:45 p.m. I think. I could check my text messages with Heather for a more precise time. So, the salmon's in at 3:50 for 35 minutes. I lay down on the couch. I set myself 3 alarms for 35 minutes from when I laid down. And I woke up at 1 a.m. Having slept through all of the alarms, with the salmon still in the oven. Now a completely carbonized salmon brick. Like, I made salmon charcoal. It was really unfortunate because I was really looking forward to having salmon this week, but nope, that's my cat's. Nope, that's not that either. Where is it? Oh yeah, this one. So yeah, it's not supposed to be that color. No, I don't even think the cats would touch it, Keiko. It was like hard. So I'm gonna say salmon charcoal. Like, I probably could have saved it and used it in the grill. I did not. I consigned it to the trash. I went to bed, and this morning I made myself chicken. But yes, that is in fact the Allison Never Learns. I am definitely not capable of napping for less than 4 hours these days.
Even without tequila.
Even without tequila. There was no tequila involved in this particular story. None. Just
salmon and sleepies.
I mean, yeah, nope. Oven was definitely on. Again. Luckily, I woke up before anything caught on fire. I mean, I think the fact that it was at 350 instead of a higher temperature probably was helpful.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there wasn't even smoke. It's just, I woke up at 1 and I was like, oh, I'm on the couch, I'm sleeping. I wonder if the salmon's done. And then I looked at my phone and I was like, holy shit! The salmon's been in the oven for 5 hours. If it had been in the oven at 5 hours at 125 degrees, I would have legit had salmon jerky. I know, it is a sad waste of salmon. I was sad because I can't afford to buy salmon at the moment. But I made chicken with white wine lemon caper sauce, which was so-so. Because it was pre-marinated chicken. I prefer to marinate my own, but again, eating out of the freezer. I am out of Brussels sprouts now, though, Heather.
Oh, no.
And the green beans were gross, so I threw them away. So I'm going to need to get some more veggies for you at some point.
Okay.
And all of the potatoes have started to sprout.
Aww.
So I think I'm going to cut up the sprouts and plant them and then cook the rest. Then maybe we'll have more potatoes.
That'd be awesome. I just would like to have some potatoes.
Yeah, I just did not have energy for potatoes after all the mom. There was so much mom. It was 2 days of mom.
Mm-hmm.
Intense mom. And she's one of those people who's just like, well, I could put the dishes in this cabinet and the glasses in this cabinet, and then that would be the bar cabinet, but then I wouldn't have room for the cocktail shaker, so then the cocktail shaker could go in this cabinet, but then that means I have to move these glasses to the other cabinet, and then I'm going to have to cut down on my everyday plates so that I have room for the formal china, and it's just like, but a stream of consciousness, like, on and on and on and on and on. I'm like,
Which could have also been done beforehand.
So tired. I'm like, I'm exhausted listening to you. Like, and now I have to go actually do things? Anyway, I'm still stringing. By the way, I'm on the 3rd strand. So this tutorial is not going to run too much over just because I've been talking. Like I said, had I had any time today to prep, I would have pre-strung, but at least, again, this way you guys got to see the beginning of everything and how that went. Sorry, Keiko, you could just you could send it on a drone. Have a salmon drone. Now, I've got plenty of other stuff in my freezer. I have so much ground lamb in my freezer from Diane. So much.
That's
and I also have pizzas for you, Heather.
Woo!
I will say the fact that because my freezer is still busted because I have not had time nor money to get a repair person out. So I'm currently using a small chest freezer, and it is a little bit annoying to have to pull everything out to get to the stuff that's at the bottom. At some point, I will get my actual freezer fixed, and it will be glorious. Glorious! I tell you, glorious! And I'll have ice again, which will also be cool. So anyway, that's my story from yesterday. I don't think so, Keiko. I don't think individuals can legitimately send things by drones. That was more of a joke. Though, I could be wrong, because things be cray these days. Okay, so I'm not too worried about the fact that I've got 2 more beads on this end, because what's going to happen is I'm going to be doing this by grouping, so I'm probably going to have to take off some beads at the end anyway. So I did string 2 more beads onto one of these strands than the other, as you can kind of see there. But again, I'm not going to really worry about that, because I'm going to be starting from the other end with the knotting, and it's all going to work out. Or it's not, and it's going to be an episode of Allison Screws Up on the Internet. Either way, I think we're good. By the way, I do just want to, before I start knotting, remind everyone that there is no episode of the button list tonight. We have decided to go to an alternating week format, which gives me more time to research, more time to script, and more time for us to provide you a better podcast product. So there's no button list tonight, but there will be next week, and it's going to be a pearl. Shoot, I need to find the piece of paper upon which I wrote the name of the pearl. Dang it. But it's going to be a pearl. Not the pearl of Lao Tzu, but a different pearl. Okay. But don't forget, we do have the 2 episodes of the Pearl of Lao Tzu dropped on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. So if you've listened to them, awesome.
I rated us.
Huh? What?
I rated us.
Rated, not raided. So
No.
yes, rate us and leave comments and tell everyone we're awesome, because the more positive ratings we get, of course, the more the algorithm shows our podcast to new and exciting people, which is what we need. I love you all so much, but we want more people, a bigger audience, would be amazing for the podcast. So yes, if you like us, rate us, give us good comments, etc., etc. Okay, so now that the shameless self-promotion is over, let's go ahead and work on this project. Okay, so those are my finishing bits. Those are going to go over there. All right, so I don't want these beads that I just strung to fall off while I'm knotting, so I'm just going to go about 12 inches or so up the cord, and I'm going to tie a slip knot. So a slip knot is a knot that's not permanent, so I'm just going to go around, and instead of pulling the whole bunch of cords through all the way to their ends, I'm just going to pull through a loop and tighten it. So this is the type of knot that when you pull on these two ends, the knot goes away. Okay, most people know how to tie this. They just don't necessarily know what it's called, and sometimes if you think too hard about it, you can't tie it. So I'm just going to tie a slip knot here that's a temporary knot so that all of these beads that I just strung don't fall off the end of my cord while I'm knotting. And then I'm going to, and I'm right-handed, so I find it...
But I am not left-handed.
I find it easier to have kind of all of my stuff on my left and the beads in my right hand, but you can do whatever's comfortable for you. So I want to count out the same number of beads on each strand, and I want to make sure my strands are not crossed like they are right now. So I'm going to do, how many are there here? 3, 9, 8. Alright, we're going to go with 8 because I got 2 strands with 8 and 1 strand with 9. So there we go. So I've got 8 beads per strand. So what this technique does is it's going to take these 3 strands of 8 beads, and it's going to... Ooh, I have a fuzz in my nose. Oh my god, I almost swallowed a crane fly yesterday. It flew right in my mouth. There are so many crane flies at my house, y'all. I don't even know, but I want them to go away because I do not like crane flies. So it's going to take these 3 and it's going to bundle them together like I'm holding them here. So what I'm going to do...
So you mean mosquito hawks?
Yes,
same thing?
Same thing. Yes. Crane flies is actually their, as far as I know, crane flies is actually their right name. And mosquito hawks is a colloquial reference, or a colloquial name. I could be wrong about that, not being an entomologist. But anyway, regardless of what we want to call them, one of them flew in my mouth, and luckily I was able to spit it out, but ew!
Oh, no.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these 3 strands of beads in my right hand, and I am knotting all 8 of these cords as one. Alright? I'm just going to wrap them around my hand and pull them through to make a knot, like so. Then I'm going to grab a tweezers. I'm going to, okay, once again, I cannot see what I'm doing. There we go. I'm going to take a tweezers, I'm going to go through that knot I just made, and I'm going to grab right on top of all 3 of those groupings. Then I'm going to just take my hand out and pull my thread so that I make a knot. So see how I've made a knot now that gathers all 3 of those together. I'm going to take my tweezers out and I'm going to push that knot down, and that gives me this cute little triple strand bubbly thing. Okay, Shalera says that is correct. Don't eat the beads and don't eat the bugs. Ew. And there were two giant ones doing the nasty on my back door the other day.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, get a room, guys, but not one in my house. Get a room in someone else's house or in the great outdoors. Okay, so now I'm going to pull down 3 more groups of 8. Oh, bummer. Sorry we froze up. Also, that's not 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 4 here. So I think it's supposed to start raining again tomorrow here in Dallas. My foot's telling me that it is. Carol corroborated with the weather report. So once again, I have not planted a damn thing, so I'm wasting all the free sky water. Which is unfortunate.
Yes.
I like free sky water, and we are coming to the end of free sky water season. We're coming to the beginning of you pay for all your dang water season. Yeah, I should have been, and I still have a little bit of trouble with this because my Wisconsin brain says this isn't so, but I should have been planting in February. Well, it depends on how aggressive the free sky water is and if it involves hail or not, which is always a possibility here in Texas. But I think that I'm not going to be able to plant anything tomorrow. I'm going to have like a 17-hour day tomorrow. Oh well. I'll live. Everything will live or die. Whatever. Okay, so now I've got my next group of 3/8, and I'm just going to, again, go around my fingers, pull it through, then take my tweezers and follow through that knot. Grab, again, all 8 of them, pull, and then push down my knot. So now I've got my second grouping of 3. So now you can kind of see, or grouping of 8. So now, well, 3 strands, 8 beads, whatever. I guess technically that would be a grouping of 24. But anyway, so now you can kind of see how this project is shaping up. Hi, Jennifer! Yes, come back soon. Come back often. We got new stuff. We've got lots of cool new stuff. So come see us. And we've got stretchy bracelets on Saturday at 1:30 in the store. And next weekend is guided and assisted beading at 1:30, which is going to be fun. We've already got a few people signed up for that. And we got 2 people signed up for Saturday, so that will be fun as well. And I have, despite talking about how one needs to be careful not to get these tangled up, I have still managed to tangle them up. But Jennifer, you should come to guided and assisted beading. It's gonna be like Galentine's, but slightly less crazy. Don't think anyone's gonna be making metal clay body parts. There are no guarantees. Alrighty. Okay, so now so yeah, this Saturday at 1:30 is stretchy bracelets.
Guided and assisted living, yes, please. That's why I have a brother.
Yeah, I got nothing for you, Keiko, on that one. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull 3 more groups of 8. Also, y'all, I just have to be a little schmoopy about my cats for a second, because Mamie and Elton are finally starting to bond, and they were both sleeping on the bed with me last night, and
Woo!
that's only like the second or third time that's happened since I've had Elton, so they're starting to like each other, y'all. Okay, so here we go with Galentine's. Was super fun. It was also a little bit crazy. Alright, so we're going to go around and through. But yes, Kitty's being friends is awesome. Also, double kitties on the bed with me is great.
Yes.
Alright, so then I'm going to pull. Especially now that no one else is taking up space in the bed.
Yes.
There's more room for cats. So that's my
Means
third.
you need to fill the rest of the room with cats?
I mean, I would say yes, but, you know, my wallet at this point would say no. No more cats until you have more money. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish it here for the reason that... Oh, no, stop being... So, this sometimes... Oh, that's awesome. So, where... Are you in Dallas, Shalaris? I can't remember. My brain is like a sieve.
Yes, it's me.
Yes, that is a header. She's not technically on stream, so she's we have an audio only header. And
I'm a sneaky sneak.
Yes, you are. And much as I would love to say yes, Shalaris, I really should not get you know, you can just come into the shop and say hi. You don't have to buy stuff. You can even walk in and say, hi, it's me. I'm here to say hi. Don't let me buy anything.
Yeah.
And we will,
Hey!
we will, you know, we will help you with your willpower. You can also bring your stuff in that you already have and come just sit here and work. You know, we try to be the opposite of depressing. So, like, if you've got projects you're working on, come in and work. Come sit. It's all good. But as far as another kitty, much as I, when Lee and I had that nasty breakup, I said I was going to get another cat, but I really don't have the budget right now, so it wouldn't be fair to a kitty to bring them into my house at this particular moment. But when I am looking for another cat, I will let you know.
Yes.
But I should save my pennies for taking care of my two guys I have now. You know, I've thought about a shop cat. It was a no for quite a while because we had an employee who's very allergic, and we still have a Heather who is allergic. And I don't know that I want Heather to feel like the inside of her face has fur all the time. So probably not a shop cat either. But at some point, I will be in a financial situation to have a third cat. And then I shall
Julie, I
let you
have
know.
put some things in safe places because I kept having to clean things up in a hurry and move things around in a hurry.
I would think that those beads would, like, you could
will
see
get
them
them.
glowing through any surface. They're
I know,
so
right?
annoying.
But I don't see them right now. So, somewhere. Hi, Silvern.
Is it Silvern? Ah, hi Silvern. I'm finishing up the project. So I did a mini. This is the vintage style knotting. So what I did to finish up is I've taken all of my 3 needles, and I keep saying 8 pieces of thread. It's 6 pieces of thread. 3 times 2 is not 8. That's
no, not last time I checked.
No. So I had 1 math success and 1 math fail tonight. And in the world of me, that's actually pretty good. A 50-50 ratio. Ooh.
I can picture Tango doing
Thank you, Jennifer. Yes, this is a very bold nail color for me, but I am liking it. We'll see how long it lasts. These are not the greatest quality nails, so we'll see if they last the week. But I'm happy with them so far. Alright, so now it's time to finish. So I put my bead tip on, and you'll notice that this bead tip is going the opposite way from the first. So both of the cups, if I stretch it out, and I can't really stretch it out on camera and have you see it, but both of the cups are facing outwards. Okay, so the first, they do go with tonight's beads, it's true. So, oh, Heather takes everyone's claims seriously.
Oh, yes.
It's just that we had to move and clean everything for the TV shoot. And then, of course, as most of you probably know, eventually when you get down to the deadline, cleaning and organizing becomes shove the mess in a container and hide it.
Yes.
And we definitely got to that point. So I have something, and then Sam came and cleaned. And I love our Sam.
Sam is a very effective cleaner.
But a lot of Sam's...
sometimes too effective.
Yeah. Well, and also a lot of, like, Sam kind of works like a professional organizer where you have to take everything off and then put it back, except what Sam tends to do is just take all the clutter and put it in a box for me to deal with, and then leaves a clean surface, which is great, except for the fact that, like, some of that clutter is clutter and some of that clutter is things I actually needed. So then I have to go through the box and figure out the things I actually needed. So next time the Sam cleans, there need to be better parameters. But anyway, so I'm finishing this at this point because I don't want to open another strand of beads.
That's adorable.
Oh my god. That's so great. I love how he's a self-amusing cat.
That is awesome.
Okay, so I've got my second bead tip on. Now I need to make a knot inside my bead tip. So we're just mirroring our first side, which was knot and then a bead tip. Now we've got a bead tip and then a knot. So I don't really need all of this thread, and I don't need all of these needles anymore, so I can go ahead and like the cat tends to steal where you had been sitting on the chair, or is your cat like dragging chairs into a room and like making forts out of them? Now I'm curious. Okay.
Yeah, me too. I didn't know.
Okay, so I'm going to cut about 6 inches or so of...
I don't care what the actual answer is. I am picturing the fort.
Checkerboard. And then I'm just going to divide these into 2. Oh my gosh. So Elton loves to sit on the toilet in the bathroom while I'm getting ready in the mornings or the afternoons or whenever I'm getting ready. So, and I posted that photo in Discord of him standing on the toilet, which was very cute. But then, like, whenever I'm actually sitting on the toilet, for whatever reason, because there's no chair in my bathroom, so sometimes I'll just sit on the top of the toilet and like scroll through my phone. Because for some reason my bathroom's full of plants and it's a peaceful place for me. So, but if I'm sitting on the toilet in whatever capacity, he'll sit on the rug and he'll just give me these sad eyes. Like, Mom, you're sitting on my spot. You're off my spot. And then every once in a while, he'll jump on the toilet while it's open and be like, what the fuck happened to my toilet? What? It's missing half of it. It's very funny. Anyway. He's such a weirdo. But he's an adorable weirdo. And he's getting much more social. Not just with Mamie, but with me as well. Like, he used to have his designated, like, safe areas. Like, the bathroom was safe. And this one stool in the kitchen was safe. And sometimes the bed was safe, but not always. So the safe areas are expanding, which makes me really happy. That's funny. I've never had a cat, Lori, who opens drawers, but I used to have one of those IKEA dressers that didn't have handles, it just had cutouts. So I had a cat who would just reach into the cutout and grab with her claws and just pull things out of the drawer. And this was back right after college when I was living with 2 guys, one of whom was my boyfriend and one of whom was not. And we get home with a bunch of friends one day, and there are like 3 pairs of my panties just in the middle of the living room. I'm like, thanks, dude. Like, that's exactly what I wanted all my friends to see. So I have divided these into... That's pretty funny. Okay, so I've divided this into 2 groups of 3, and now I'm going to tie these together And I'm going to tie a very large knot. So I'm going to tie 1, 2, 3, like so, and then I'm going to pull it until it goes all the way down into my cup of my bead tip, like so. And then I'm going to tie a single just to lock that off. Ta-da. All right, and then if this were an actual that's funny, Lori. That is okay, so if this were an actual piece of jewelry that I was making, I would take my hypo cement and I would glue this knot here that's on the inside of the bead tip, and I would glue this knot here that's on the inside of the bead tip. Since this is not a real piece of jewelry for wearing or using, I'm going to skip that step, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut off all my threads as close as I can to that knot without actually cutting the knot. Like so. And then I'm going to put my clasp on. So I just have a that's actually even funnier with the typos. Now I've got that image in my head. Okay, so I have my clasp. I've just got a lobster claw. Now remember, when you're using the bead tips, sometimes your clasp, where the fork is my focal distance? Oh, it's all the way down there. Okay. Sometimes the clasp can be too thick to comfortably go on the bead tips, so sometimes you need to add a jump ring, which I've done in this instance. So I'm just going to pop that ring onto my, and no, I can't do this on camera because I can't see it. There we go. All right, I'm just going to pop that onto my bead tip, and then I'm going to grab flat pliers, a chain nose pliers, and I'm just going to take this little hook, and so the area of pressure is going to be one at the top, one at the bottom, and I'm just going to squeeze it until the tip of that bead tip goes right down into the little cup, like makes a little basket. And I'm going to do the same with the other side with a large soldered ring. Yeah, no, I don't think of cats as serene necessarily. More like they've got two speeds, 0 and 100. Okay, so now I've got that on there, and then once it, some go to 200, it's true. Some cats go to 11. And then once again, we're gonna just top of the bead tip and the cup of the bead tip and just gently squeeze. You want to be careful on these because bead tips are very delicate. They're made of very thin metal, and they don't need to be made of very sturdy metal, but you can't smash on them. You've got to squeeze gently and delicately because it's really easy to just smash that completely out of shape, and that is not what you want. You want this nice, you know, kind of rounded basket shape if at all possible, because that's going to hold your clasp securely, but it's still going to give it plenty of play to move. If you, you know, mush, smush, smash this so that it's actually gripping your clasp, then what's going to happen is eventually your clasp is going to fall off because the movement is going to open that hook, and then you're probably going to lose your clasp. So gentle is the key. But that is, so it's almost a bracelet. If I had strung like 2 more sections, it could be an actual bracelet. But that's your vintage knotting. And so you can do this with any size of beads, any shape of beads. You can do any length of groupings. I will tell you that the bigger your beads are, the longer your groupings probably want to be, because otherwise you get these real kind of bulky, bunchy, weird looking things. So if you want to do this with bigger beads, then make your groupings longer than this. Now that doesn't necessarily mean more beads, because 8 8mm beads obviously takes up more space than 8 4mm beads, but longer than the length of what I have here. And don't forget, when you're cutting your cord, you're going to need 6 times the finished length times 3, that's 2, times 3 strands. So that's going to be a fair amount of cord. But yes, it's a fun technique. And like I said, Keiko, if I had just done like 2 more sections, I totally, like, this is a bracelet for a very tiny person who is not me. But if I had just done 2 more sections, it could have actually been a bracelet for myself. So that is it. That's our tutorial for this evening, the vintage style knotting. And I do really like, where is my cursor? I do really like this tutorial. It does take a lot of beads, because you're tripling the number of beads you need, you know, for your length. But it's a really fun technique. You will probably notice it more on vintage things now that you've watched me teach it, because it is out there on a fair number of vintage items. It is, like, the knotting part of it, it is more quicker is the word that I'm looking for here. The knotting part of it goes more quickly, that's actually what I was intending to say, than traditional knotting, because you've only got 1 knot every inch or 2 inches or whatever, but that's offset by stringing 3 strands of beads. So still a time-consuming project, but it's very pretty and very fun. So that is it for the Wednesday evening live tutorial. Again, no button list tonight because we're switching to an every other week format, and this is our last tutorial for the week because we are going to go see Sam in Sense and Sensibility on Friday night, so we'll be dark on Friday night, but we will be here at twitch.tv/Beading Dream with a tutorial. There's nothing in there. Not with a tutorial, with a live sale tomorrow night. I have no idea what we're going to be selling, but it's going to be something fun. So live sale tomorrow night at twitch.tv/Beading Dream, also on Facebook Live. That's going to start at 6:30 p.m. We'll be dark on Friday, and then we will be Zooming on Saturday. I will tell Sam that, and also I do want to apologize to everyone for all of the stream cancellations last week. All I can say is that doing your own corporate taxes is mind-boggling, and I did wind up having to call in and assist at the end because I just could not figure everything out. So but the extra time that not being on stream gave me was incredibly helpful. So I apologize for all the cancellations, but you know, nothing's sure but death and taxes, and taxes did not kill me because here I am. So everyone have a great night, and I will see you guys all eat unburnt food, right? I will see you guys all back on this channel, twitch.tv/Beading Dream with Heather, tomorrow evening at 6:30 p.m. for the sale. Everyone have a good night, and we'll catch you later. Bye.